Welcome to Unapologetically Sensitive, a place to find connection, a sense of belonging, and community, where you can learn, relate, laugh, and maybe even live a bolder, brighter life. I'm your host, Patricia Young, licensed clinical social worker. The information in this podcast is not a substitute for help from a licensed mental health professional. This is a weekly podcast where we explore how sensitivity weaves itself into our lives. We talk about the richness that it adds, the strengths we have because of our sensitivity, and some of the challenges it poses as well. Sensitivity is nothing to apologize for. It's our superpower. This is bonus episode 8, and it's part of a 30-day podcasting challenge that's going to run from now until the end of November. I'm kind of changing course on you today, guys, and so hopefully this will be a nice change. I'm not sure. I feel a little vulnerable putting this out. I've been doing daily bonus challenges on traits of being a highly sensitive person. Last week, I had something happen and I recorded right after because it really was powerful and it impacted me. I want to give you guys a little bit of a trigger warning. I was a bully as a kid. That's not the warning. It's a pretty short recording, but something happened. I spoke to the person who I had bullied and had a very tender response from him, and I'm a little weepy on the recording. So the trigger warning is not that it's a big, huge thing, but if you're heading somewhere and you are a person that has makeup on and you want to keep your makeup intact and you cry easily, this may not be the episode that you want to listen to right now. I really want to be vulnerable and transparent with you. I think that we impact people in ways that we never really know how. And this was one of those moments where this boy that I was relentlessly ruthless with gave me some incredible grace, and I just wanted to share it with you. I also wanted to thank every one of you who are listening to the podcast. I'm seeing that people are listening and tuning in. It looks like you're sharing the episodes. I feel so humbled and grateful. My plan when I put this podcast out is I really want to share about the traits of being sensitive. I want everyone to see it as being a strength and a gift. I want us to talk about the challenges that we have. I want it to be honest. And what I'm seeing is that y'all are listening and it looks like you're sharing it with other people. So thank you very, very much for that. If you live in California and you want to work with me, you can find me at Patricia Young, LCSW. And I'm trying to build a community on Facebook. The group is called Unapologetically Sensitive. Please hop on over there and join if you'd like to be a part of it. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at unapologeticallysensitive@gmail.com. Thank you very much for being here today. And remember, sensitivity is nothing to apologize for. It's our superpower. I am having a moment and I wanted to share it with you. A little backstory. I was a pretty angry kid, and when I was in elementary school, we had an alley in our house, and I used to always pick up glass bottles and break them. I really liked the sound of the glass crashing, and it made me feel pretty powerful because I felt pretty powerless as a kid. Then in junior high school, there was this kid, and his name was J.C. Stiegel. I have his permission to use his name. And I was relentless on this kid. I would kick him in the shins as hard as I could, and it happened a lot. I am not telling you this story because it is something that I am proud of, because I am absolutely not. When we had our high school reunion, I don't know, whatever the first one where I saw him, I apologized to him for my terrible behavior, and he was very gracious about it. Now kind of launch forward to launching the podcast, and so I posted all over social media, and I've been in touch with a couple people from high school, so I posted in my high school group. And the podcast just went live last night, at least in this time frame that I'm talking to you in. The podcast launched, so I've been on social media kind of following if people are responding to the podcast and what they're doing. And JC commented on all the posts, he shared the posts, and I reached out to him via Messenger and apologized again because every time I see his name pop up, I just have this feeling of shame and just yuckiness because obviously this is not how I handle myself in my life these days, but I have so much regret. And then when I saw he was sharing my posts, it just felt terrible. So I reached out and apologized again, thanked him for sharing, and said, I know there's nothing I can do to make it up to you, but is there anything that I can do because I just really feel rotten? And he sent me back the following message. I had called him to see if he was free to hop on a call with me so we could record this right now, but it wasn't a good time for him. And because I'm feeling so touched and moved in the moment, I just really wanted to take some time and record. So he said, "Yes, there actually is. Please, please, please know that I forgive you. Those years were very hard on many of us. I can say for myself, I was lost, but now I'm so strong. Guilt is a very destructive thing. Please forgive yourself for things in the past. I hold no animosity, and when I let go of the past, guilt, shame, life has become so much more beautiful. Back then we were children not knowing how to handle all the life challenges we faced. It's obvious to me that you've matured into a beautiful soul who seeks to heal others. I'm very proud to know you and to share your posts as I see where your heart is. Big healing hug to you." And so obviously what followed this was a big ugly cry. And even right now, I'm just touched. I feel guilt and sadness for the angry, hurt child that I was. I feel terrible for JC being the recipient of my wrath. He did not deserve it. And I feel a little bit of grace. I feel a little bit of grace that his words are so kind and healing. And it's hard for me to pull myself out of the feelings that I'm having and to know that today that is not how I carry myself in the world. And really, I'm doing this podcast and really want to make a difference in the world. It's such a beautiful experience and a beautiful story to share. And the fact that, he's in this place that he just doesn't have any animosity over it. I don't know that I can ever really stop feeling terrible for my behavior. I mean, I know I need to forgive myself and I feel like I have, but it's like that behavior is just unacceptable to me. And I was hurt and wounded, and if I wasn't hurt and wounded and had resources and support at the time, then obviously I would have had different tools to handle what was going on. But just wanted to share this moment with you all.